What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Wave 2 figures. So we have 7 more figures here on these nice retro card backs for Across the Spider-Verse. So starting off here first, we have Miles Morales, which can be hard to say. I guess I can move it over here. It has a sticker that says inspired by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so the first movie. So that's what that Miles is from. So it has more of that first movie look. Then we've got Spider-Gwen, which looks nice in her movie 2 version and comes with Lila as well, which is awesome. And then we get Peter Parker Spider-Man, so the Spider-Man that ended up dying in Miles' universe from the first movie. And I think it, has a sticker as well on that being from that first movie. So awesome to get him just, basic Spider-Man from this movie is cool. Then behind that, we got 4 more figures. So first we got Spider-Punk, which we've already had before. Just this is in his alternate look, so he changes colors and everything. So we get this with the unmasked head. So this one comes with the unmasked head, and then we get the normal colored unmasked head that we could put on our other Spider-Punk from the first wave as well. So that's cool. Then we get a name that I can never say, the Spider-Man India. I'll have to learn his name, but looks cool with his outfit. Love the character in the movie. Think he looks awesome in that figure as well with awesome hair there. Then we get Spider-Man 2099. We already got him before, so it's just another version, but we'll of course do comparisons with all these figures, see what's different and changed between them. And finally, we got Miles G. Morales, so the bad Miles where he became Prowler in that alternate universe. So that was a nice tease at the end of the movie as well. So very cool figures. Of course, like I said, most of these characters we've already had before, so we'll have updated versions here. We'll have to do comparisons and then just see the difference between all the figures so far. So very awesome to get this wave. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Miles Morales, who, like many of the characters we'll see today, was bitten by a radioactive spider that had escaped Alchemax, and he began developing spider-like abilities. But after witnessing the death of Spider-Man and joining up with the Spider Gang, he helped save the city from the Super Collider, and Miles became a new protector of New York City as Spider-Man. And of course, in this form, he has superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, as well as wall-crawling spider sense, and Miles himself can absorb energy and shoot it through his hands, as well as a camouflage ability. So as I said in the opening, this is based off the first movie, the Into the Spider-Verse. So nice to have this. It's just an updated version. Of course, I'll show you the other ones we have, but we just get Miles in his basic suit, so the black and red suit that he wears. So it looks pretty decent. Of course, with the Spider-Verse characters, we get the weird proportion. So he's got the long, thin body, especially like the legs and stuff are super thin. Always makes me worry with these. I know that the legs are gonna break or something like that just because they're so thin, but it looks good with his red spider painted on his chest, like the graffiti painting, since he does that with his uncle in the movie. We get Miles's head there that looks pretty good. Looks like the animated style head with his hair sort of poofed up there and just a more worried look on his face. We get red on his shoulder pads and then red like on his fingers and then the bottom of his shoes as well. So it just looks pretty good overall, but basic Miles, we've pretty much seen these before, so nothing really out of the ordinary there, but just nice to have basic suited Miles here. Now for Moons, we get that'll twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so pretty good range there in the head. Shoulders will come up to over 90 there, so pretty high up, and rotate around. We get the bicep twist, that'll twist around there. The double elbow joint, again with the thin joints, I always worry about them breaking, but will bend all the way up on itself, so that's really nice. Get the wrist, that'll twist around and should flex back and forth there. Then we go to the ab crunch. He'll crunch forward and crunch back. So pretty nice crunching there, as well as some crunching at the waist and twist all the way around. So nice crunching with both of those joints together. Then we go down to the hips. That'll come up to 90, out to the side, thigh twist all the way around. We get the double knee joint. That'll bend up that far to the back. Not far at all from kicking his butt, but his leg is in contact there, so that's the only thing stopping it. Then we go down to his foot. That'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty much same joints we saw in the past Miles, and nothing really out of the ordinary. Like I said, just the thin joints, and with such the thin body, it is kind of hard to get him to stand sometimes and pose up and all that, but overall not bad at all, and Miles overall looks pretty good. Now, as I mentioned, we have had Miles before, and especially from Into the Spider-Verse, we had this one from the first movie, so he's pretty much got the same suit on, just he has the clothes on over the top, so he's got the jacket and hoodie, as well as pants on there, and his shoes, so I always like that shoe design for him, but we just have those. You can see the difference in the face printing, So from this new one, that looks real nice compared to this one. They look about the same, just, some color difference and all that. So not bad for that. And then we already have Miles from the new movie, so Across the Spider-Verse from the first wave. So that's what this looks like. So he has the more updated suit with the blue on and all that. So there's the difference there. Still think the head on this new one looks better compared to this one because this one's got the shiny look to it, but still not bad at all with his second movie look there. So nice to have those versions to go with this Miles. Like I said, nice to actually have him in this sort of suit. Now for accessories, we do get a head that we can switch out to have the masked version, and like how the head comes with the peg, you just always got to hope that we take the head off, the peg comes with it like it did there, so we don't have to worry about that, and we can pop this head on. And there he's got the fully covered face. But I think I like the unmasked version better. Like, I usually don't like that too much, but with it being cartoony and stuff, with the unmasked head, it makes it stand out more. So I do like that. So I'll probably just keep that on, but we'll do this for now. And then he also comes with some hands, which are just the opposite of what he has. So he has the flip hand, so the web shooting hands, as well as the fist hand. So we get those two options that we can switch out, just the opposite there. So overall, not bad for Miles. Like I said, it's just nice to get him completely in the spider suit this time from the first movie. But otherwise, we've had the other, so it's not like this is a big deal, but it does look really nice. So it's awesome to have this version of Miles. And next up, we've got Spider-Gwen, or Gwen Stacy. Now, she was also bitten by a radioactive spider and developed superhuman abilities to become Spider-Woman in her universe. But she would eventually get pulled into another dimension and meet up with Miles Morales, where they form the Spider Gang with the other Spider characters. And she would later become a member of the Spider Society and be mentored by Jessica Drew, as well as befriend Spider-Punk and Spider-Man India. Now, she has all the same powers as Spider-Man, so nothing new there. But of course, she's just wearing her Spider-Woman suit as it's labeled, but it's Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider as she's now called, as well as this version specifically having the multiversal gizmo, which gives the wearer the ability to travel to other dimensions as well as communicate with the other Spider Society members. So she looks good here. Really like this design. Of course, looks like Spider-Gwen, nothing really new there, but we get the head from the movie that looks really good. Now of course, I don't remember her hair at all, so it probably looked just like this and I don't remember, but I just love the blue and like the purplish pink. It just of course matches with her outfit and all that. Just looks really good with her partially shaved hair there on the side that we saw her get in the first movie. So just a really nice looking face print. Looks like it came straight off the movie here onto the character. It looks good, and like I said, just the hair color looks really nice as well. Then we get the Spider-Gwen body, so like I said, pretty much the same with the black and white outfit. We get her hood down, that's got nice purple into it, hood hanging there off the back. We get their gloves coming up her hands with the purple and light blue designs there, always nice for the webbing. And again, just the black and white outfit everywhere else. And then she has some like Converse like shoes there in a teal color on her feet. So looks good overall. And then there's the multiversal gizmo. So most of the characters will have that on as well. So the little watch that they can travel through dimensions. So looks really nice overall. So like I said, love the look of this Spider-Gwen, especially the body. It's hard to tell like probably through the camera, but in real life, all the white has like a pink tint to it. So it kind of matches with her tone and stuff. It all being the pink, like I really notice it on her extra head she comes with. But yeah, just looks really nice overall for her. But for movements, we get her head that'll twist around. Of course, the hair is away, so it'll be hard to do. And then it'll look down that far and then up just that far because the hair in the back hitting. So don't really get too much, even though she does have the hinge joint in there. So you could get really good range, but just with the way the hair design keeps it out of the way. But then we get the shoulders that do come up to 90 and will rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist all the way around there and the double elbow joint, again, especially for a female. Such thin joints, worry about breaking, can bend all the way up on itself. The wrist will twist all the way around and should flex back and forth there. Then we get the ab crunch, so just under her chest, she'll crunch back and forth a little and twist all the way around. Now, she doesn't have any extra crunches, so she doesn't really get a crunch or anything too much like the other guys do. Then the hips will come up to 90, actually not all the way up to 90, but not far off, and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that again, real thin, will bend up that far to the back. Again, can't fully touch because their legs are hitting each other. And then down to the foot, rock back and forth and twist side to side. So really good movements. Once again, of course, as I keep mentioning, such thin joints, so it makes me worried every time I move them, but they seem to be working out fine so far, so no major issues with that. Now, before we do the accessories, we'll do the comparison again. So we have the Spider-Gwen from the first movie, so she's got the much shorter haircut, and of course an older, different body, so she's much thicker overall, has like the ballerina shoes and all that, so not a bad design at all. And then we have this version, which I thought was from the newer movie, but again, her hair color is different with a lot of the blonde and pink, so again, I'm not really sure how she appears or she switches throughout the movie, but you can see outfits about the same, body builds pretty much the same. They're complete reuse of this. Just changed up the colors, went to more of the purple as opposed to this pink version, but either one doesn't look bad. I think they both look really good, but just the face on this new one looks so good, so that's what makes me like it a lot. But like I say, I think for her, I like the hair color on the other one more of the blonde and pink, but she does have some accessories, so we get an extra head, so her masked head as well, again showing a lot of nice purple around their eyes. The inner hood design there always looks good, and like I said, doesn't come through on the camera, but the hood has a pink tint to it, so that's pretty nice. So let's switch that out. So there's Spider-Gwen with the covered head now, which looks pretty good. Once again, love how the hood sits down, to contact with the chest and stuff, but still leave her like neck gap and stuff there. So it looks pretty good. Of course, that sort of gets in the way. You can still hinge the head. You can't go back too much still, but you can look down and all that. So still pretty nice. And the head, attached with the hood, so it moves all around with it, but looks pretty good there overall. And like I said, I do really like the purple design. I prefer pink more, but the purple does look good. She comes with the hands as well, so we get the whip hands and a fist hand as well to go with, along with what she has. And then she also comes with Lila, which is nice to get Lila. So we get Lila, the Lyrate life form approximation, which is a holographic companion of Miguel O'Hara, and she's the one that created the multiversal gizmo. So we just get this little figure, for what they call like a slug or something, so no movements or posability or anything, just the way she is here. But it's nice, she's all in this yellow, like sort of see-through design, even like her skin sort of see-through. Again, can't really see it too much. I love like the heart glasses on her face and her hair all messed up and everything. Looks pretty good there. So just a nice little thing to include with your set as well. You can put that with Spider-Man 2099 since that's what he goes with, but nice that she's included in this as well and came with Gwen. So overall, nice to have this version. Like I said, it looks good overall. I prefer to have more of the pink compared to the purple, but it still does look really nice. And next up, we've got Spider-Man, the normal Peter Parker version from Miles' universe. So he was also bitten by a radioactive spider and gained superhuman abilities to become Spider-Man. Now in the movie, we see he tries to stop Kingpin from using a super collider, but in the process is caught by Green Goblin, and Green Goblin puts him into the collider's beam, causing the machine to explode, which causes all the spider people to come in from the other dimensions. But this also left him severely injured, allowing for Kingpin to easily kill Peter by smashing him with his fist. But this would all be witnessed by Miles Morales, who would then try to carry on Spider-Man's legacy as the new Spider-Man. So it's awesome to get this. Of course, it's just a Spider-Man, so not really anything too crazy, but it's nice just to get the basic Spider-Man that we saw in the first movie that, like I said, inspired Miles Morales and all that. So just our basic Peter Parker, which is really nice to have it. So of course we get the Spider-Man body that, fit with the movie design, and then we get the head that looks a lot like the Peter B. Parker head, which I'll bring that in, just with the blonde hair this time. So overall, looks about the same though, look wise and everything. And then we just get him in the normal Spider-Man outfit, so the red with the webbing as well as the blue underneath, so on the midsection, arms, and down the legs, and then the red spider webbing everywhere else, and looks good overall. Like I said, just the Spider-Man, basic Spider-Man of the movies, and then of course that head there of Peter Parker as we see him in the movie. It's not like the coolest character ever, just another Spider-Man, but it's nice to have just the normal Spider-Man represented from the movies. Now for movements, his head will twist all the way around. He'll look down that far and up that far, so good, really good with that hinge disc in there. We have the shoulders that come up. Now this shoulder we did have issues with and had issues getting it to go up, but we'll do this one. So it can go all the way up to 90 there if you force it and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint all the way up on the there pretty much. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch. So again, he's got the double ab, so he's the upper one, and twist mostly, doesn't really crunch too much, but then the lower one will crunch back and forth, so we can see that crunch cut out in there. Then down to the hips up to 90 and out to the side. They also do have some like drop down hips, not like much, but there is a little bit of movement in there. Then we get the thigh twist all the way around and the double knee joint. That'll bend up that far to the back, very close. If you kind of force it there, can get him to kick himself in the butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So decent movements once again, and no issues with this at all, and looks pretty good. Like I said, just for Spider-Man, he's just real tall and lanky, of course, like a lot of the characters are. So nice to have him. As I mentioned, though, he does look like the Peter B. Parker version that we got in the first movie that, helped kind of train Miles and all that. So we get this version, the old like sloppy version that's, of course, that looks all disheveled and gross and everything. So two versions of Peter Parker here. Just we have the normal Peter Parker from our universe and then Peter B. Parker from another universe. But like I said, their faces and stuff look very similar, just the different hair color between the two of them. And to make this even more Spider-Man, we of course get a Spider-Man head, so the fully masked head that we can switch out. So there we got basic Spider-Man now for our Spider-Verse figures, and of course he comes with a set of whip hands instead of the fist hands that he already has on there. So just nice to get that. Like I said, I do kind of like having this head again just because it shows more characteristic of and the differences of the characters and stuff, because this, just looks like Spider-Man, so nothing really out of the ordinary there, pretty bland and boring, but adding that head sort of spices it up to make him look a little bit different. But again, just nice to have Spider-Man represented from the Spider-Verse movies. And next up we get Spider-Punk, or Hobie Brown, which we've already had before as well from the first wave, but now we get him in this alternate color design. Now he is a homeless, foul-mouthed teenager from New London that was bitten by a radioactive spider, and he uses his spider abilities to become Spider-Man as an activist against fascism and corrupt systems of the world, often in the form of music and art. Now he would be recruited into the Spider Society and became close friends with Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man India. Now he has all the same Spider-Man abilities, but because of his dimension, he can change colors depending on his atmosphere, and in this specific form, he turns pink when he's around loved ones. And of course, comes with a multiversal gizmo on his arm there, so it looks pretty good overall. Like I said, we've already had this, so it's just different with it being all pink, but one thing that is different is we get the unmasked head now, so it looks really cool with his face design, has all sorts of piercings, it looks like in his lip, on his eyebrows, and then we get his hair all sort of poofed out there, sort of like dreaded afro almost, it seems like, because, separated out like dreads, but it's all big and puffy like an afro. So just looks good overall. And of course, with this look, like, not the only one to think this, but he looks a lot like Lenny Kravitz, so pretty nice to have this. But otherwise, it's Spider-Punk, so like I said, we get his head with the piercings all in his ears, like I said, his lip, nose, eyebrows, all that, and then his hair is all puffed up there in black. Then we get his outfit again, all in pink this time because of his dimension, and it's nice, so he's got the t-shirt on with his Spider-Man outfit on underneath that, so get the webbing designs there around his wrist, again, that multiversal gizmo. We can see some of the webbing there on his chest as well. Then he has the leather vest on top, so all sorts of buttons and pins and stuff, spikes up on the shoulders. He has a collar around his neck as well, and then we get the nice spider logo there on the back, so pretty nice. And then of course we get the black leather pants. He's got the suspenders hanging down off him, chains and all that, all the way down to his boots, so same boot designs and everything, just all in pink, so looks pretty good. So like I said, I think I like the accessories and stuff more that he comes with this version. But for moments, we get the head that'll twist all the way around, of course, hard with the hair, and it's catching on the spikes and all that, but you can sort of get it around there. You just got to get it back and forth, and then you can look down that far and up that far, so not too bad at all. Like I said, just not the easiest with the hair and spikes. Then his shoulders will come up towards 90 there and rotate all the way around. Get the bicep twist just above the studded band, and the double elbow joint that'll bend again pretty much all the way up on itself, not fully there, but not far off. And then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and rock back and forth. Then we go to his ab crunch, so he has the upper ab crunch, so crunch back and forth. Oh, he'll crunch really far forward and back there, so you can see that crunch cut out there, so nice crunching back and forth, and twist all the way around at his waist. Then we get the hips up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist all the way around, the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not too bad, but obviously not as good as it could be. Shin twist at the top of the boot will twist around there, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements overall, really like that, especially the ab crunch, how far forward he can go and back and stuff, so that's really fun. It'll be nice to mess around with that, especially pose him up with his guitar. And for accessories, we get another unmasked head. This time fully in color, so it's pretty much the exact same head, just fully in color, so we can see his darker skin tone and all that. Looks pretty good. But with this, we can bring in our older Spider-Punk, so again, like I said, from the first wave, so the one all in the normal colors, which I absolutely love this figure. It was such a good figure with all the nice red and blue designs of the spike like mohawk, so looks really cool. But now we can take this unmasked head and put it on this figure, so we can have that look now as well if we want. Of course, I like having the masked Spider-Punk, so it'd be nice to either get a masked head for this version, or we'll have to keep it on this other version, because, I kind of want a masked version, but I like having the unmasked head there, especially to go on the all-colored version. Just looks really nice. So I love that it came with that extra head. Then for hands, we get a whip hand, of course, for shooting his webbing, and then just like the other one, the guitar as well, just all in pink this time. So there we can have him rocking out with the guitar like we had the last one. So really nice to get the Spider-Punk. Like I said, I'm not too crazy about the all pink color, but it is how we saw him in the movie. He did appear like this, so it's not like it's anything new or out of the ordinary or anything. I am having issues getting him to stand, but of course I can just mess around with it to get him to stand there. But it looks pretty nice with that guitar, and like I said, awesome to get that extra head to go with our other Spider-Punk. So just really cool that like I said, that's the thing I like most about that. We got the head for the other Spider-Punk mostly, but still a nice looking figure, just all in pink this time. Now, next up, we've got Spider-Man India, whose real name is Pavat Prabhakar, which, of course, I hope I said that right. But if you understand, it's pretty much a play on Peter Parker, just with an Indian name. But he was from Mumbai, India, that would meet a mystical shaman that gave him magical spider powers, which he would use to help those in need, and was recruited into the Spider Society after being Spider-Man for only 6 months. Now, of course, he has all the same powers as Spider-Man, but he uses Bangle Web Slingers and also has the multiversal gizmo. And looks pretty good overall. I love the character in the movie. It's so nice to have him in figure form, but looks good with his hair. Of course, his long black hair that's all nice and sort of swept to the side with the blue headband on here. And again, this is the unmasked version. Just a nice looking face overall. Of course, he is Indian, so has that look to him. So really nice. Then we get his outfit, of course, playing on the red and blue, but again, mixing in like the Indian attire. So he's got this all solid red piece of mostly solid. Some little like spider webbing designs there on the shoulders, spider there in gold, which looks really nice, and on the back as well, and blue around his neck all the way down, and even has some like the webbing design there around his neck, which is cool. Then down his arm looks like, got like tattoo sort of designs with the gold bands up on his biceps, and then the bangles there on his arms. So he's got the nice gold bangles, and again, they shoot his spider web to him, and even some little tattooing like designs there on his hands. Then he gets the wraps around his waist, and then like the skirting coming down in front. Again, the blue and gold design looks really nice. And then his legs love the split between the red and blue, but mostly blue going all the way down to his feet, covering up till just his toes are exposed, and has more bangles there at his ankles. So just a really nice design. Love the look of this, and the mask version as well, I really like even more. So just an awesome figure. Like I said, this was what I'm most excited to add to the collection. But for movements, we get his head that'll twist all the way around. You look down that far and up that far. So not a whole lot of range, unfortunately. Doesn't feel like, so probably on a dumbbell joint. So just a little back and forth there. But then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. Get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That again will bend all the way up on itself. So really nice. Then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and should hinge. This one actually has a hinge up and down hand. Of course, not a whole lot of range, but it still will hinge up and down. Then we get his ab crunch, so he gets that ab crunch there back and forth and will twist all the way around. And then at the waist, he'll also crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. So again, you get those two joints working together. Then we get the hips that come up towards 90 and out to the side. No thigh twist or anything. It's all solid piece in there. But then down to the knee, that will be able to bend up there that far to the back. And then down to the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements once again, a little bit different with his design, but still works out really nice and gets all the good range. So nothing wrong with this at all. Now, of course, accessory-wise, we do get the masked head. So here's what he is masked. Again, love this design for him. The one thing that makes me like Spider-Man India is just the look with his hair sticking out and all that. So just really like this. So yeah, with that mask on, looks awesome. So I absolutely love the look of that. Like I said, this was one of the figures I was most excited for from this wave, and he looks awesome there. So absolutely love that. Like I said, just the look of Spider-Man with the little different design stuff, being from India, and then his hair sticking out of the mask looks awesome as well. So absolutely love that. He also comes with some additional hands, so we get a wall crawling hand and a fist hand. So it's just nice to have different, not just the flip or whatever, but we get the same hand designs printed on there. But we'll all go and leave the grip hands on because he also comes with his webbing with the yo-yo in it, so that is pretty cool. And we can try and put this into his hand, so obviously we can just clip these down in. So of course I don't know exactly how to pose him up, but we can work on a pose with him having the yo-yo on the string there that he does also use as a weapon. So that is pretty fun as well. So again, love that. Like I said, I just wish I could have posed it up a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure how you would pose him up just besides just standardly holding it, but looks pretty awesome there. So like I said, definitely one of my favorite figures of the wave, and I just think he looks amazing. Then once again, we got Spider-Man 2099, or Miguel O'Hara. So he gained spider-like abilities and became Spider-Man in the year 2099, and he protects Nueva York along with his artificial intelligence Lila. Now he would discover the multiverse and form the Spider Society, which is an organization of spider people from different dimensions with the mission to preserve the multiverse from threats, as well as keep the Spider-Man canon intact. Now he has all the same spider abilities, but he also has talons and venomous fangs, which makes him pretty cool and almost like a vampire. Now, of course, we have already had Spider-Man 2099, and it's relatively the same figure, complete reuse, just they darkened up the color, so made the blue much darker and the red probably darker as well. But just nice with this, we also get an unmasked head. That's the one thing that is different for sure, and no cape on the back either. So the last one had the like webbing cape, and this one does not, but still looks good. And the red and darker blue designs looks cool with the big spider there on his chest. Love all the little details in there as well, more techie like spider webbing. Of course, the unmasked face there of Miguel O'Hara with the hair mostly slicked back, but love like the little short hair sort of curled around. And then his eyes do look really weird. Like up close they don't seem as bad, but like just looking at the figure from a distance, his eyes look like they're all just blacked out, so not the best. And of course he does become, I want to say, villain like in the movie. Not really that he's bad, but just trying to preserve the stuff he is. But looks good with the nice long talons like blades there sticking off of his arms. He has the multiversal gizmo there on his wrist, and just looks good overall. Of course has the weird proportions where he's really big up top and really thin in the legs, so I do have some issues getting him to stand like the first one, but overall it's not too bad. But for movements, we just had that'll twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so again on a dumbbell joint, so not a whole lot of range, unfortunately. But we get the shoulders that do come up to 90, or at least very close to it there, and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow. That was pretty stiff there, but can bend up at least that far, which isn't bad at all. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we go to his ab crunch, so he has the ab crunch cut out there, so crunch forward, crunch back, which is really nice, and twist all the way around at the waist. His hip will come up towards 90, not all the way, but it is pretty close, and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Then the double knee joint, that'll bend over that far to the back, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. And I like how he is like sort of design-wise like angular, so his muscles, have like a squared offness to it, and you notice it there on his butt with the flat sides on there. So pretty funny looking, but overall a nice looking figure design once again. But like I said, unfortunately we've already had it before, so it's not that exciting. We mostly get the unmasked head with this is the big difference. And speaking of, here is that older one, which I think color-wise, I like this one more just because I always like lighter blue and bright red and stuff. So I like this one more, but obviously this one feels more accurate to the movie. But we can see very similar body design. Like I said, this one has the cape on it, which I do like the cape as well. And then, as I said, this one has the unmasked head, which this other one did not. So that's going to be the biggest difference between them. But if we don't want that unmasked head, we of course get the masked head that matches just in the darker colors there. So we can obviously have that. Well, I was going to switch the heads out, but I can't get the unmasked head off for some reason. It's really stuck on there, so won't be able to do that. And then he comes with just some standard relaxed hands, so nothing too crazy there, just his hands not in the fist forms like he's got on. So really nice to have this. Like I said, not necessary, just if you want the unmasked head, since we've already had the other one. Like I said, for me personally, I like the other one more, but it is nice just to get this unmasked head, which we of course could then put on that other body as well. So just nice to get an updated version of Spider-Man 2099. And our final figure of the wave is Miles G. Morales, also known as the Prowler. Now, the radioactive spider that would have bitten Miles Morales was teleported to another Earth, which I do believe was the one that was teleported to Miles that we see in the first movie. So this Earth never had a Spider-Man to protect it. And Miles' father ended up dying, so he was raised by his uncle Aaron Davis, who was Prowler in the first movie, who of course caught him to be a cold and bitter crime fighter, wearing a suit of armor as the vigilante known as Prowler. So by that, it's not necessarily clear that he's a villain. I would say, like, especially the way they tease him at the end of the movie, that he is a villain, but it says he's more of a vigilante, so, he fights on whatever side he feels is right. So I feel he's probably going to be more like an anti-hero, but he does look really good here. It was a nice shocking design at the end of the movie and looks really good. So we get Miles there, so the face design should be relatively the same. We just get his hair different, so it's where it's all braided now, which looks really nice. So love like the hair design and detail they did on that with the braids hanging off the side. Then we get his outfit. So I was like the purple design, so he's got the jacket with a nice spiky color on it, very similar to the normal Prowler. The Prowler logo there, again spray painted graffiti there on his chest. Nice belt with the pocket designs. I love like the circular designs there. We get the Prowler gloves, so the big mechanical gloves there on his hands, being powered by like some pink liquid there. Then he's got some baggier pants in purple and nice like shading designs, a little bit of orange and green thrown in there as well. Love like the dangly pieces off his belt as well hanging down here, so just adds more details. Then as he's got like knee pads and then almost like capri style pants, so they're rolled up. Then he's got, I don't know if they're socks or leggings, but some sort of purple designs on his legs down to the shoes, so his shoes like the first Miles Morales, just in black, purple, and pink this time. So looks really nice overall. Just an alternate version of Miles Morales now as the Prowler that looks really cool. Now for his movements, his head will twist around. Of course, got to worry about his hair, but it will twist around in there with it and look down that far and up that far. So not too bad at all for the movements. His shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint this time. That'll been there to 90 with rotation in it. Then we get the wrist that'll twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so you can see the ab crunch cut out there. He'll crunch forward, crunch back, so pretty nice crunching and twist all the way around at the waist, so just under the belt. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, kicking himself in the butt. And down to the foot, rock back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements once again. Kind of different with having the single elbow joint, but it still works, especially with those big claw hands. So I feel it kind of works and makes sense for it. But like I said, just mostly this design overall I think looks really cool. So I'm excited to see how he carries on with this in the part 2 of the movie. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with a masked head, so there we get the nice masked head of Miles there, and you can still see his hair and braids sort of sticking out of the top, but then we get more Prowler-like mask with the pink around the eyes and all that, and little breather design, so let's switch that out. So there's the masked version, looks really nice there. So really like that design, just like it says, an alternate version of the Prowler. Then he comes with additional hands as well, so we get a grip hand and a fist hand to go along with his 2 claw hands. And he also comes with a backpack that we can put on, which looks pretty nice with this weird angular design. Almost like, I thought there may be weapons, but I guess they could be almost like a tripod sort of thing sticking out there. Not sure what this is though, since we haven't seen him much in the movies, but I'm sure we will in the second one. But we can try and put this on him. Not too difficult at all to put that on. Hopefully I put it on right. I assume by the way it lays on his shoulders and all that, I did put it right, but you never know these things if they should be sticking down or up. But just looks really cool there. Absolutely love the look of this. Like I said, can't wait to see what he's like in the next movie as this version, and how long we'll see him or anything, but just looks really cool. Now, of course, as I mentioned, his uncle Aaron Davis was the original Prowler, so we have the Prowler here from the first movie. So there's what he looked like in that, so you can kind of see the inspirations, especially with the claws and colors and all that sort of stuff between the two. But like I said, this just looks really cool. Now, of course, not how I'd prefer the other version where we have, because that's, the most classic version, but just to have an alternate version of Miles here looks really cool in this form. Well, that's it for our Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Wave 2 figures, where in this we got Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, Spider-Punk, Spider-Man India, Spider-Man 2099, and Miles G. Morales. So all of these figures are pretty cool. Of course, some of the boring ones, especially like the Miles, since we've relatively had him already. The Peter Parker, just because, it just looks like Spider-Man just in the designs for this. And then, unfortunately, we've already had, like Spider-Punk, but like I said, I love that we got the extra head to go along with the other one. And it's nice just to have him here. And the pink, like I said, pictured how he was in the movie, very similar to 2099. So we've already had him just in a different color and an unmasked head, but do like getting the Miles G. Morales, Spider-Man India, as well as this version of Spider-Gwen. Looks really nice as well. So just overall cool figures. Like I said, you can pick and choose what you want if you especially want to add new characters like Spider-Man India and the Miles and stuff into your collection, and can skip out on all the others since we've already had them, but just nice different versions to add to the collection. So let me know what you thought of all these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.